Good morning, good morning. It's Carol Chamberlain in for the lovely Leza live on the news 103.5 KYCA. Happy to be here with you fellas. Sorry to hear that Leza's under the weather, and it's some weather to be under, isn't it, Drew?
Absolutely. Well, if you're going to be under the weather, might as well be a rainy day, get fire in the fireplace, and just chill.
It's
just chill
true.
out and get healthy.
I just hope she's well enough to have a good book to read.
Well, I would hope so. But, typically
Oh,
you read, you fall asleep, right?
Eyes closed, just go right ahead.
Exactly.
So we're talking about the weather. What's it going to be like?
Well, today we're only going to have a high of 66, but we have about a 50% chance of rain in the afternoon. So that'll continue. But after that, for tonight, we're looking at mostly clear with light winds. We'll have a low in the high 40s tomorrow. And then for Thursday, we're going to be in the 70s again. And Friday should be good. So the weekend, by the time the weekend comes, all the moisture will be, dried up.
Yes.
Everything will be green.
And soaking into our lovely ground.
And we need the water.
No, I hear that all the time. But, I'm a sunshine woman, just so you know. Okay, so Matt, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm still here too. Dang, Carol.
I'm sorry. I'm so late saying hello to
It's
you.
okay. I'm used to being second fiddle to Drew. I mean, he's kind of the man.
You're both the men. I have to tell you, I'm just lucky to be in your company. So what's cooking with you?
Nothing.
Oh,
Same
come
old. Just
on.
working, eating prime rib with Drew, living the dream.
I heard about that prime rib, and it really
Yeah.
did sound very good on Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo meat. How's that?
Yeah, what else are you supposed to eat? Oh, and then that's the question. I mean, today's Wednesday, so that means Drew's going to go wherever, whatever, whenever, however.
I guess wherever Wednesday. What do you know yet? Wherever Wednesday is.
Well, they were talking about, believe it or not, the Fat Frog, but not for that. So more than likely, we'll be going to the Fat Frog tonight for something else. But, they have a great menu. There's plenty of things for me to eat on it.
I have heard that about them, so congratulations. Just keep on eating. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Not that I want to keep giving them free advertising, but I saw a post on their social media about their happy hour. It looks pretty good. $5 beers, $5 appetizers, a lot of fives.
Bring
Sounds
it
great.
on. Wonder how much their scotch is. Not five.
Probably under $5.
Not the scotch that you and I are going to be drinking,
Not
that's
the
for sure,
scotch you
for
want.
$5.
Yeah.
Is there a single malt $5? Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay, today is May the 7th. There are some pretty fun things that happen. Well, interesting
Fun
things that
things.
happened on May the 7th. So, today in 1946, the Tokyo Telecommunication Engineering Company was born. Anybody know what that is?
Sony?
It is Sony. When it was founded in 1946, which really surprised me. I didn't think it was that old. I mean, it's older than I am.
Well, it came in.
Wow, Carol.
Oh, I'm not going there.
I'm not touching that one at all.
All right.
But actually, it happened after World War II, after we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Standard Oil of New York, came in and gave them a lot of money to help develop. And some other companies, like the Victor Company with the dog and the phonograph.
Right.
That's what JVC is, Japanese Victor Company. That's what that stands for.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah. So, the other ones, if you think about it, Standard Oil of New York, SONY. Sony.
Wow. You are okay. That's the second thing I've learned from you today. The
Sorry.
first one was
Now you know why we call him Droogle.
a Droogle. Absolutely. The first one was I loved hearing that some people complain about anything. Some people would complain about being hanged with a new rope. I never had heard that before. That's pretty good.
I got that from my dad.
Well, your dad must have been another Droogle.
Oh, he was definitely a smart man.
Quite the man. Anyway, Sony started with 8 employees. I wonder how many they have now. Certainly more than 8.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. It's got to be in the thousands and thousands.
It does have to be in the thousands. Okay, in 2000, Putin was inaugurated as president of Russia. And look at the things he's done in 25 years. I'm not going to say anything more about that. We'll move on to something more fun.
You left us hanging, and then you're like, I'm done.
Yeah, she pulls the rug out, just
I was expecting like something really awful or something really good.
Oh, well, that's not. Well, that's not. I'll tell you another awful one. In 1915, the Lusitania, which was a British ocean liner that was carrying a bunch of Americans for fun, was sunk by a German U-boat, which greatly influenced the U.S. decision to enter World War I 2 years later. So, some things happened on May the 7th.
Yeah. No, I remember studying about that.
Yeah.
So, in 1998, Mercedes-Benz bought Chrysler Corporation for, just guess how much? Drew, you know it all.
Right.
I should know this one, though. I'm sorry. I don't want to get a bad
In
deal.
1998, I was really surprised by the number. It was $40 billion, making it one of the largest, of course, automobile manufacturers in the world.
I would have thought it would have been more.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty much because it was Chrysler, and they were on a downturn, I think, in 98, weren't they?
Their cars were, but their trucks have never been, and that's where they make their money on the trucks.
Oh, there you go.
Or their Jeeps.
Yeah, their Jeeps, the trucks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So Ken and I are driving down the freeway, and he points out a little square, squat Jeep. And he said, guess how much that vehicle costs? Now, I'm looking at a Jeep. A Jeep enthusiast in math.
Sure. Yeah.
So, how much do you think a new Jeep costs? Just
I know exactly.
Just a plain old little box
Now
thing.
I know exactly.
A
Now,
Wrangler?
Are you talking the
A
Wrangler?
Rubicon?
Yeah.
What's the least expensive
The
one?
least expensive one is probably this. I think they still have a stick shift Wrangler. It's probably 40,000, I would guess.
Well, he told me they were $50,000, and I nearly came unglued. 50,000, but you might think that's a steal.
No, gosh, no, no. I purposely have a Jeep from 2004 that I paid cash for, and then I put more into it. It's I do it for fun. It's not my daily driver. I think if you have a daily driver as a Jeep, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's real tough. But so that's why mine sits at the house unless I'm taking it to keep the engine lubricated and everything going, or I'm hitting the hills.
So
But
you bought it 2004. It was
Yeah.
like 21 years old. And how much did you pay for it?
I paid just under 10,000, and then I've put a lot
10,000 in
more into it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I sold my 1999 SL 500 Mercedes for $3,500. It had a problem, a big problem.
My Jeep had problems when I got it, but not big problems.
Yeah, Mercedes problems usually are five-digit problems.
Well, but it got I got a lot of use out of it, which was really great. Okay, so from the Jeep enthusiast, I'm also going to tell you that in 1915 on this date, the first ever Major League Baseball game was played at Wrigley Field. Now, that means that Wrigley Field is 110 years old.
Well, and Drew was there.
When it was that first game, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You look really good,
He was
Drew.
he was in his 20s back then.
It's not the age, it's the mileage.
Yeah. I do remember going to Wrigley Field, and it wasn't new and luxurious back in the 70s, but it was certainly a neat place to be. Okay, this is one that I find really very interesting. In 2013, the Dow Jones, on this date, the Dow Jones closed above 15,000 for the first time in 2013. So I just looked it up to see what the progression of the Dow has been. Because I remember sitting in a sales meeting a long time ago, somebody saying, I think the Dow's going to hit 1,000 this year, which in 1970, it started the year at $809.20 and ended at $838.92. This morning, it's 41,000. I mean, just look at the progression we've had.
For those of you who like to play in the stock market, that's one of the safest bets, is just owning the Dow Jones Industrial Complex.
Well,
Yes.
That's it, because it has done nothing but go up.
it's true, but it's not a great place to put cash you need immediately.
Oh no, never. No, you
Just my financial advice for the day.
no, you don't put any money into the stock market that you truly need, because you get in trouble.
Okay, I'm gonna speak up some Ken language right now. My husband Ken would say, "Oh, real estate's the place to put your money
Of
long
course.
term."
Yeah.
Oh, and you as a
Yeah,
realtor,
of course. If I wanted to hold on to my old house, and I couldn't get my new place without it, but it
And-
would have been a great rental property.
and you'll get your next great rental property. But I have a question about your new house.
Yes, ma'am.
Pictures hung yet?
No.
Oh,
I haven't
Maud.
unpacked my dishes.
What?
I'm still looking for the toilet paper.
Oh, now that's a problem.
It's fine.
We're
I got
not
a
talking
yard.
daily dues on my when
Oh,
I'm sitting
no,
here.
Carol doesn't get the daily dues.
Thank goodness.
Don't worry, Drew will bring it out.
Oh,
No,
your dishes aren't done?
No, well, they're somewhere. They're in the box. They're somewhere.
That is one thing I can't do. When I move in someplace, I have to have my pictures hung by week 2. I just can't stand that.
Now my lightsaber display, it's up and it's going, so that's perfect.
Your what?
Lightsaber display.
Oh, your light. I actually thought this will show you my ears. I thought you said lifesaver. It's like lime
Well-
or lemon.
Personally, I'm a big fan of cherry. I mean, lime or lemon? How dare you?
yeah.
Oh, I like that much better than cherry. But
Oh.
lightsaber, I
Yeah.
like that pretty good. Okay, today is National Roast Leg of Lamb Day. Now, I tell you what, if I'm having leg of lamb, I want it to be cut up and put on skewers so we can have kebabs. But I would personally rather have a French cut rack of lamb, personally.
I would agree. I like my lamb, the Greek style, the little miniature lamb.
Yes, the lollipops.
Yeah, the lollipops. Yeah.
Me too. Ooh, we do that. Ken does that really well. Yes.
You guys got me beat. I only get it in a euro.
That's only half lamb, you know.
That's only
Still
half
good,
lamb.
though.
Still
It's
good though.
It's fabulous. Actually, at Costco they've got some really great gyros making stuff. I can't
do.
remember the name of
Yeah.
it. I love that.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what we're having for dinner tonight.
I was actually at our gastro park this weekend, and that's why I got their euro. It was very good.
Out of
at
Max?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do
Yeah,
a great job.
Everything is handmade. Everything, even the tzatziki. It was
Yeah.
so good.
Where is that?
At the gastro park, the food truck park.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
the food court. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
And the tzatziki is dripping down your arms.
No,
That's the way I like it.
no. It's actually she uses a lot of chunks of stuff and doesn't blend it real. So good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I like the way your face looks when you talk about that. I think you're salivating.
Of course.
He's always hungry. That's why.
Well, yeah. I mean, we need to talk about it, Drew. I was going to bring it up yesterday, but we had free food for us Friday with no food, and then Monday we were supposed to have food for Cinco with no food. I mean, I'm starving here, Drew.
Hey, I'm with you, buddy. You know?
But I did see a picture of the turducken or whatever
Yeah,
it
what
is.
Barry was going to make. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it looks so good. I told him just bring it in.
So do you think that's going to be one of the things on the menu for Shirley's Urban Eats?
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait. Anyway, better that he didn't give it to you raw.
Well, it wasn't raw. He just thought it was undercooked, and I said it looked fabulous.
And
So,
truthfully, I sort of prefer my things undercooked. Anyway, okay, so it's also National Cosmopolitan Day. Now, I would tell you I'm getting this signal from Drew.
Oh, I was swirling my glass, my Cosmopolitan.
I see that now. That's very good. So do
I
you
thought you were talking about the magazine.
Oh, we could talk about the magazine because did you see all the clothes that were at the Met Gala? Did anybody look at that?
No.
Okay, good. Moving on. I'll have to talk that over with Leza.
Yeah.
But I just want to know if you all know what's in a Cosmopolitan besides vodka and cranberry juice.
Yeah, lemon.
I didn't. Huh?
Lemon. You get a lemon rind.
Well, before the lemon rind, anybody? It's got triple sec and lime juice in it. I didn't know that. Well, here, I'm going to toast you with that right now and tell you that we'll be back right after this. See you in a minute. Morning again. It's Carol Chamberlain in for the lovely Leza live on the news 103.5 KYCA. And I missed an opportunity. I was talking about cosmopolitans, and I didn't say we'll be back with an expert drinker.
Yes.
Kelly
We could
Tolbert
say
is
both, probably, after all my years of experience.
Kelly Tolbert is here with us, a lovely Southern woman.
Thank you, Carol. It's so great to be here.
It's so great to see you.
I feel like speaking more Southern when I'm listening to you on the show.
Do you think I sound
You got
Southern?
a little Texan sometimes, but I think it takes a Southerner to recognize it sometimes.
I think that's probably
we
true.
work hard not to sound like rednecks, right?
I had not ever worked all that hard.
Okay.
I say two words that people can absolutely tell. One of them is a piece of pie, and the other one is oil.
Oh, and I say ice.
Ice? Oh, well, I probably do too. Ice. Well,
Iced tea.
we can take that a couple of ways.
That's
okay.
right.
So I hear the margaritas were fabulous
We
on
enjoyed
Monday.
those. Yes, ma'am.
But I heard you had no food to go with it. How sad.
We were a little sad about that. Gary will probably never live that down. Bless his heart.
If he's listening, remember this.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if we'll ever be able to go to El Charro again.
Oh,
because of
I'm
how much
I'm sure he'll.
we've given him since Monday.
We'll have to sneak in.
Yeah. I'll
Well,
get it to
actually, Since I wasn't here, I'll go first.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so tell us, Kelly, what's going on this week?
Well, we've got quite a few things, starting with Friday. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which
Oh.
is a fabulous thing to be aware of.
It certainly is.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And our Elks Theater is hosting Stand Up for Mental Health, the comedy show with David Grenier. I hope I'm saying his name right. And it's at 7 p.m. on Friday, so make sure to get your tickets online. And then Saturday kicks off the Mother's Day Fine Art and Wine Festival hosted by the Mountain Artists Guild. It's their annual festival. The exhibits are free, or the tents that set
Right.
up, but there is a fee, of course, for the wine tasting, and I'm sure you have to be of age and all that good stuff.
Well, and I tell you, these are wonderful opportunities to start your Christmas shopping.
Oh,
I have always started with the Mountain Artists Guild to see if we can't find some local flavor for Christmas presents.
that is a brilliant thing
I
to
think so too.
start thinking about. You just have to remember where you put them.
Oh, I have a gift drawer.
Oh, you're brilliant. We can take notes from Carol.
Oh, yeah. But sometimes I forget that I have stuff in that gift drawer. Then, it's like everything else. You find it like an Easter egg that's 3 years old.
Which is always a kind of fun thing,
A
unless
treat.
they're
Look at-
something moldy.
Exactly. Okay, so we're going to be laughing on Friday. On Saturday, we're going to be sipping and shopping. What's next?
And then also Saturday at the Elks is one of our favorites, Esteban. He's performing with his daughter, Teresa Joy, who've been on with Leza in the studio many times. That's at 3 p.m. I would check for ticket availability because he's a hot item.
He is hot. I remember seeing him so many years ago in Scottsdale. I mean, this man has been around for a while and only gets better like aging wine.
Fine wine. That's
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And then Sunday, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, daughters, everybody that celebrates Mother's Day. There's a lot of local restaurants doing brunch specials. And I know we had Nancy from the Willow Creek Inn talking about their special at her place last week, and she's still got tickets available.
I just saw when I was driving down Willow Creek Road that the Willow Creek Wine Bar is doing a Mother's Day brunch. So you're right. It must be everywhere.
I guess so.
So there's not a mother in this studio. So nobody's celebrating us.
That's right. We just celebrate ourselves.
Not traditional, right?
Yeah, but
you were calling me other things earlier, Carol.
Oh,
You're a special kind of mother, Matt.
yes, it's you don't pronounce the
I'm glad
R,
you
though.
said that.
Yeah.
You just don't pronounce the R. And I have to tell you, my dog Maxwell does not have a credit card, so
Well, that's probably good.
in more ways than one.
Spoiled enough, I'm sure.
He is very spoiled. Okay, so what's next?
Well, a couple of upcoming things I wanted to mention that are ticketed events is John Party at the Findlay Toyota Center on Friday, May 16th. So if you're into Honky Tonk Hollywood tour, the Honky Tonk Hollywood tour, make sure to get your tickets. He's got a couple of other people playing before him. So I guess he's the headliner.
That is a mouthful. Honky Tonk Hollywood Tour.
It is. Glad we got through that.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I'll let your next guest talk about Charlotte's Cellar, which I'll be featuring some mocktails there. So please do get your tickets for that and come see us.
Absolutely.
Those gardens are fabulous. And with these rains we're getting, it's just going to be popping.
And 4 acres of them. I mean, I'm always surprised when I think about 4 acres in the middle of Prescott. How amazing is that?
That's equivalent to the grass at Watson Lake. So thinking about it in that terms, it's incredible. Right downtown.
Yeah, maybe we should have a concert out there sometime.
I think so. Let's just.
They used to have concerts at Charlotte Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What kind?
Not like big concerts, but they have an amphitheater. And they used to have it was like a bluegrass and country and all that kind of stuff, and they would have multiple bands across the grounds. And I mean, this is years ago, back when I was, still working at the paper. But yeah, it was
a youngster.
Yeah. Well, are you calling me old?
No. Why would I call you old, for God's sake?
Aged like a fine wine, Matt.
No, I have not aged like a fine wine. I mean, I'm only like 23. Look at this.
23 looks good on you.
I'm
Okay,
just
so
joking.
we're past the Honky Tonk Hollywood tour. What's next?
That's right. So, also around town, we like to highlight our little local establishments. The Birdcage has the Joey Guto's band Friday and Saturday. Sunday is Hidden Gateway. The Lobby Bar, I know I enjoy it there. Carol, you've enjoyed some time there as well.
Absolutely, I have.
They're always having fun things and special happy hour pricing and features. So check them out at the Lobby Bar. And then there's, of course, Fire and Sword downstairs.
And they do have a great menu in their restaurant as well. I've had lunch there a few times. St. Michael's is good.
I also enjoy their lunch. So
Oh.
thanks for pointing that out. I'll have to get over there soon.
Me too. We should go right after
Let's
this.
do it.
They have
We're
a very
talking-
good breakfast too, by the way.
They probably have a cosmopolitan.
Very good breakfast. Yeah.
I bet they do, but it probably is not as good as yours.
Aw, thank you,
Oh,
Carol.
yeah.
We'll just have you make them for us there.
We'll have to try it.
Yeah.
We'll just set you up.
We'll have a taste test.
Yeah. Okay, so the Lobby Bar at St. Michael's, and that's live piano every weekend.
They do, and sometimes they have other musicians besides pianists, so you can check that out just spontaneously, maybe.
See, there's another Southern thing. You called it a piano. I'm right there with your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, what's after the piano bar?
We've got Jersey Lily with Combo Deluxe Friday and Saturday, and then Whiskey River Tavern, they do their line dancing lessons on Thursdays, and Scandalous Hands is there Friday. Crow and Forest are there Friday evening on the patio, I believe. Saturday's Free Radicals, Palomino, Busco, and Trey Friddle. So they're doing upstairs on the patio, all around music, dancing. And then the Windsock has Friday Toucan Eddie, Saturday is Wheelhouse, and they have their Sunday Blues Jam.
Do you know what else the Windsock has on Monday night? They have a trivia night that is so much fun. Have you ever done it?
I have not.
You'll have to try it.
I
So
will.
you need to get like 3 or 4 friends together and sort of study up. Like I went, a bunch of us went on a Monday of St. Patrick's Day, and I just knew the trivia was going to be about St. Patrick's Day, so I studied, and we came in second.
Awesome. That sounds so fun. Do you get a prize?
I don't know. I've never won, so I can't
Okay.
exactly tell you what the prize is, except for bragging rights.
That's right.
I would hope somebody would buy you a drink. Well, we have to take a break for a moment, and it has been so good seeing you, Kelly.
You too, Carol. What a pleasure.
It's been a great time. Another redhead, another Southerner, back in a minute. Good morning again. It's Carol Chamberlain in for the lovely Leza Live on the News 103.5 KYCA with a studio full of lovely people. So before we turn it over to Charlotte Seller, I just want to talk for a second with Kelly about Shake, Stir, and Pour. And I want to hear the story of the Cold Pony Mobile Drinkery. I love the word.
Oh, thank you. It encompasses a lot. So like we were talking about with Charlotte Seller, I will be providing other things besides cocktails. So I wanted a name that was inclusive of any kind of beverage.
So Drinkery did it.
That does it, I feel like. So thank you for noticing that.
Oh, yes.
And the story behind it is I had started kind of in-home bartending for clients on request. So I was a bartender downtown for years and worked in all kinds of hospitality industry places. And so it started out of a need. And then in 2019, I think I had seen something that inspired me maybe on Pinterest or on Instagram where somebody had converted a trailer of some sort into a mobile bar or drinkery. And a friend of mine happened to be selling his horse trailer. He's out in Mayer. We call him the mayor of Mayer. And he said his boys don't ride the horses anymore. And I said, what kind of trailer do you have? And so that's how it kind of started. Empty rust bucket. Our fabricator made new doors for it. It's a 1978 King 2-horse trailer. Oh. And that's my vintage. So I was enamored from the get-go.
Absolutely.
And it needed some heavy-duty paint, and my husband helped me renovate the inside. So I offer both with just me and or with my trailer. So just kind of depending on what the host's needs are, we can try to accommodate that for sure.
So people can call you to come to their party and be a bartender, or they could just rent your drinkery.
I haven't rented just the drinkery,
okay,
but it's something that I would definitely consider.
Well,
I know.
How could they do without you anyway? So just tell us how to get in touch with you if somebody's having a party and wants you.
It's acoldpony.com is the easiest way. And you can find me on Google too.
acoldpony.com.
That's right.
I absolutely love that. And you'll be pouring mocktails and coffee, I believe, at an event that we're also going to be talking about. So I really want to welcome Dr. Stuart Rosebrook. I love that.
Well, thank you, Carol.
Dr.
It's great
Rosebrook.
to be here.
And Sally Jackson, the Development Director for Charlotte Hall Museum.
Thank you.
So welcome.
Well, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you here. So this is an event of the season, I believe. So tell us a little bit about Charlotte Seller Premier Wine Tasting.
Well, I tell you, if everyone's planning to get out into the beautiful spring weather of Prescott, Arizona, there's no better place to do it than at Charlotte Hall Museum. At Charlotte Hall's, the Charlotte Cellar. You know, it's the perfect evening on May 17th from 4 to 7 o'clock. We've just been named an arboretum. Our gardens are in bloom. We're going to have live music, and you can enjoy a beautiful evening with your friends supporting our mission at Charlotte Hall. And Sally has been working hard for many months and gathering up and asking and finding a great sponsors and restaurants and folks like Kelly who are going to come and share their magic with our guests that night.
I think that's wonderful. I was looking, Sally, at your list of people who are sharing food for the evening, and you are even going to get to premiere Shirley's Urban Eats because it's not open yet, but it's on your list.
That's right. That's right. We've added a few new ones this year, including that one. And you're right. I don't know if anybody has tasted the food from there yet.
Well,
but we're all excited.
And it's very exciting. Yeah. So tell who else is going to be bringing food?
You know, well, another thing we've added besides adding Kelly with the coffee, we had Kelly last year with the mocktails. And we're adding coffee this year, but also we're adding beer from Lazy G.
Oh,
so they've come on board. Another new restaurant this year is 48 States Barbecue.
Oh, yes.
And Talking Rock is coming on this year.
Yeah, Talking Rock's brand new, and we're really looking forward to having them come in from Williamson Valley and be part of this group of restaurants. They have some great food out there and a wonderful chef. And I think that's what's really fun about this is that you get to walk around our beautiful campus, support Charlotte Hall's mission, and taste this gourmet food from some of our finest chefs and restaurants. We're kind of a foodie town, and this is a place to celebrate it, and matched with wonderful beverages and wine, mocktails, beer, mead. Oh yeah, Superstition Meadery's going to be there too. So really something for everybody. And
wow.
I know last year I had a taste of champagne and wine, and then I was the driver, so I was like, where are those mocktails? And I kept going back and back. They are delicious. And they really, fit the mood of the evening, and because they're just perfectly blended to, as you're walking around and enjoying the evening with your friends and family. It's really fun.
Kelly is a gourmand. So we're going to hear, my mouth is watering so badly, I'm about to not be able to say we'll be back in just a minute. Hello again. It's Carol Chamberlain in for Leza Live on the News 103.5 KYCA with a room full of lovely guests. We have Kelly Tolbert. We have Charlotte Hall with us, Stuart Rosebrook. I don't know why I want to call you Rosebook.
Well, I do have a lot of books, and that could be a nickname right there. But Rosebrook's one of those names where I think I was been on the show before, and someone will add it'll be Rosenbrook or Rosebrook. But I'm just glad that people remember the name, and then I'm on the air here with you all.
Well,
and
you are, and a lovely Tabasco tie. I just noticed it. Very good.
I wore it in honor of what we're talking about here today.
And we are talking about a fun event with Sally Jackson, the development director. And while we were off the air, as we were talking about Charlotte Cellar Prescott's premier wine tasting event coming up on the 17th, you thought of another new vendor, our chef we have.
Right. This year new is Vincenzo's.
Ooh.
And returning is Russo's Cheesecake.
Oh,
and
my
they're
goodness.
related. So It's kind of a package
By
deal.
marriage or?
I think they're brothers or
Then
something,
not by
cousins or something. But anyway, yeah. So we have some new vendors. Of course, we have our standard. I don't want to say standard, but our stakeholder vendors, El Gato Azul and Tourmet, and Bistro at St. Michael and the Palace, and Triple Creek.
You have some wonderful sponsors for this event too. And I'm a nonprofit executive from way back, so I do love to remember sponsors. So why don't you tell us who some of those are?
Sure. Blind Brothers Arizona, Arizona Cap and Apparel, Finley Toyota has really stepped up for us. Impact Fire, the Daily Courier, Pinion Painting. New this year, we've got Fit Body, who are actually helping us move stuff around. You know what it's like to set an event up, and all the muscle power you need. So we've got them. Also, Ruffner Wakeland Funeral Home, and of course Allen's Flowers and EMI Printworks.
Wow, you have a beginning to end there. That is absolutely wonderful. So we're talking about this lovely event. What's one of the most fun, besides getting to eat and drink your way around 4 acres of gorgeous gardens? What's another special thing about this event?
So we have a wine pull.
I love this part of it. I just love it.
For a price, you pull a cork out of a bowl, and then whatever number is on that cork is the bottle that's in a bag with a number. That's the bottle you get. And it's a game of chance, but it's a lot of fun. We also have a silent auction, and this year we added a raffle basket option that we're calling Barrel of Chances.
Oh.
And right before we left this morning, I was in helping sort out what packages go together, and we have a lot of fabulous things from all over the region.
That's great. So, speaking of Christmas presents, we could start shopping at this place too.
Well, or if you've got family coming into town this summer, we've got Bearzona, Lowell's Observatory. We've got local groups here, the trampoline place, the pickleball place, lots of restaurants and food. We've got, of course, Buc-ee's and the zoo.
Passes for the Cowboy Gathering in August.
Yeah,
and a sign poster.
Right.
Wow.
Right. And
there's a lot of great auction items.
I absolutely love hearing about this. So, and the wine pull is one of my favorite things because is it still $25?
$25.
And you can get a bottle worth up to whatever your lovely donors give you.
That's right.
And last year I donated some wine, and so did some of my friends. We went to the better part of our cellar to donate. I'm guessing you could still use some more bottles of wine.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes,
so our listeners out there who love to drink and who are generous, you can take a bottle or two.
Yes, if you wanted to drop something off at our gate, our admissions gate, that would be fabulous. Just make sure that we capture your name and contact information so we can give you credit for it. You can also call me directly at 928-277-2015.
So I guess we should talk about how much it costs to get a ticket for this event and how you can go about doing that. So tell us how much it is.
It's a 21 and only, above.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah, it's 21 and above, and it's $100 per person. Per ticket, and the tickets are available at charlottehallmuseum.org. It completely supports our mission at the museum, our education programs, our exhibits, our lecture series. It's really a great way to support our mission and have fun too. And you're taking a walk and tour around Prescott when you come to Charlotte Cellar because it's hard to get to all of these restaurants regularly.
So
and in one night you can taste the great gourmet food that's happening in our restaurants and being created by our drink specialists like Kelly, and as well as this imagination that's bringing restaurateurs to Prescott. They know this is a destination for people all over the world, and you can come to Charlotte Hall Museum on the 17th just for this small donation of $100 per person, and then support our mission and kind of travel around the world and enjoy a beautiful evening to music with family and friends on our campus.
That is such a beautiful way of putting it, Stuart. So let's talk just a minute about the programs you do offer so our listeners can hear a little bit more about what Charlotte Hall Museum offers our great community.
Well, this coming up this Saturday is Living History Saturday, and we're having a Victorian tea. And so it's really going to be a fun event, and there'll be some little cookies and biscuits available for people to taste and enjoy while they're trying some tea. But I understand we may have some local folks that are coming out there and get dressed up and come out in their Victorian and come out and enjoy this. And Living History is really one of our most popular events, and during the summer, it's a great way to bring all the multi-generations out, family and friends in town. We have a theme each month, and so
this Saturday, you can also make your own Victorian fan,
Paper
fan, and the Living History Adventure is the second Saturday of every month from April to November.
Wow, that is very exciting. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about Charlotte after we get back from this message. Be right back. Hello again. It's Carol Chamberlain in for Leza Live on the News, 103.5 KYCA, with a lovely guest. We have Stuart Rosebrook and Sally Jackson, along with our own Kelly Tolbert, talking about a great event at Charlotte Hall. But I want to talk just a minute about Charlotte herself, because I have just I've just been reminded that Charlotte was a poet, an activist, a politician, and a territorial historian.
That's right.
So I read this I'm paraphrasing it, but I read this wonderful quote that from a letter that was extracted that she wrote to Matt Reardon, of the Reardon family in Flagstaff, who was the owner of the lumber mill, a company there. And she said, "I'm so glad that God let me be an outdoor woman and love the big things. I couldn't be a tame house cat woman. I'm not unwomanly, don't you dare think so. But God meant woman to joy in his great, clean, beautiful world, and he lets me see some of it not through a window pane." I just love that. I found that on y'all's website. So tell me a little bit more about this wonderful woman.
Well, you know, she came here as a teenager. Her parents came here from Kansas, and she grew up. Her mother was educated and believed that her daughter should be well-read and be educated. And so Charlotte grew up with a great imagination. You know, she was our little house Laura Ingalls.
Oh,
She
wow.
kept a diary when she crossed the prairie coming here in 1883.
Oh, my.
And she was an observer of life and the land and the people from a very early age. And she's not thought of, but we should consider Charlotte Hall our Laura Ingalls. She is really a great woman of letters and should be elevated into that aspect of as an essayist, as a writer, as a poet. She gets overlooked. She was definitely a strong woman, and I think she represents what it took for men and women to settle this state. It would not have been settled without strong women like Charlotte Hall working side by side with the men to build this state.
That really is an amazing testament to her strength. And I understand she was very politically involved. She was a lobbyist, it says, and she was the first paid territorial woman in Arizona Territory. But didn't you say also, Stuart, it was even more than that?
Sure. She was, as our territorial historian, to be elevated to that paid position across the United States. She's probably in the first 5 women anywhere in the United States to hold a state or territorial level position and be paid for it. And it's remarkable. And there's a great photo of her where she's with like 17 men in the territorial legislature and has this just look on her face like, oh my God, look at all these men.
Like the cat that ate the canary.
That's right.
I mean,
You know, please.
I love it. So you were said to me on the break that you all would really like to see Charlotte Hall be everybody's meeting place. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we have a great meeting hall, and we have affinity groups that make Charlotte Hall Museum their regular meeting place. And they can contact me at stuart.rosebrook@charlottehallmuseum.org or call us at the museum and give me a call and talk to me about their group. If it's just a one meeting, they'd like to hold a meeting over there. If they'd like to hold monthly meetings, we would love to talk to folks here in town. And even if they meet somewhere else 7 times a year but want to have a special meeting or an event, we can host them for throughout the year, and we can make things happen. We'd love to have them be part of Charlotte Hall and say, our home is at Charlotte Hall Museum. That's where we meet.
That is really good to hear because I know a lot of nonprofits need that. But I want to end our time together having you say one more time about your event at Charlotte Cellar. So, Sally, tell us again what this is.
It is a fabulous event to get together with your friends. It's next Saturday, the 17th, from 4 to 7 o'clock. Tickets available at charlottehallmuseum.org under the events section, Charlotte Cellar. And for $100 ticket, you can taste wonderful cuisine from around the city, and more than just the city.
Matched with wine, beer, mocktails, and mead, and it's really an evening to just enjoy the splendor of Charlotte Hall Museum under the beautiful spring evening.
That sounds absolutely wonderful, and it supports a great, great cause. Thank you all for joining us today. I've had such a good time with Kelly, Stuart, and Sally, and we will look forward to seeing Leza back tomorrow. Right, Matt?
I hope so. I don't know. If not, I'm okay with you being here still.
Well, I'll check with her later. Been fabulous. See y'all tomorrow.